Welcome back to the Affinity Insurance Podcast. With me today is Nicole Dean and Alyssa Wilcox, two of our insurance experts and specialists. And today we are going to be talking about something really interesting. So, if you're a homeowner and you either sometimes Airbnb your home, if you have some short term rentals that you own, this is going to be a really interesting episode for you because there's actually some insurance implications you may not have thought about when you do these things. So, whether you do it occasionally or you actually have properties to do this with exclusively, this will be really helpful for you. What are some common misconceptions that homeowners tend to have when they list their property on things like Airbnb, Vrbo, or similar platforms?
So the most common one is that their standard homeowners policy covers them for short-term rentals. Those types of things that are considered like commercial or like business use, and they're typically excluded.
When it comes to personal liability, I think that's a big thing because if somebody stays in your home, they get injured or something happens, how does that affect or how do those insurance policies change when it's being used temporarily in a business sense like that, Alyssa?
You have your home as an Airbnb, a vacation rental, it's a commercial use. And whenever you're running a business out of your home, your personal policies will never cover it. So, in terms of personal liability, yes, you have personal liability, but now you have commercial liability. So, in this case, you're going to want to get a commercial policy to cover you for any third party injuries that happen from your home and from this rental.
What are the key endorsements or policy changes that homeowners should think about, talking to their agent about or making changes if they're going to list their home this way, Nicole, or even just like hosting and doing it occasionally? Like maybe it's not like you have a whole property set aside for it, but every now and then, like you Airbnb your house to make some extra cash. Like, what are some things you should have in place to protect yourself?
So there are a variety of endorsements that you can add. There's the home sharing endorsement. It covers things for like hosting, such as liability and property damage. There's also things you need to consider, like your personal property replacement costs. If you have someone staying in your home, they may not have care and concern for your belongings like you would. So you want to make sure that you're covering your items, not at the depreciated value, but like the actual value. You also want to make sure you have increased liability coverage, things like sewer drain backup, make sure your personal property is all covered. Also, if you have any watercraft like boats, jet skis, or anything like that that may be rented out to people, you definitely want to make sure that you have coverage for that incidental as well too.
Last one on this. So, Alyssa, if a guest is injured or damages your own property, so I think it can go either way. Like they get hurt and something happens to them, or they do something to your property. In either case, in a short-term rental, what's the first thing a homeowner should do and maybe should not do as well?
I would say that, like, if something happens, I know that a lot of these platforms that are used for renting out properties have some built-in deposits and insurance. So I would probably start there, let them know, because if you can recoup some of the damage directly from deposits already paid, then, that's a great way to start the ball rolling. But yeah, I think whenever there is an injury, first things first, make sure everyone is safe and healthy, get them the care that they need, worry about the repercussions, the costs later. But beyond that, definitely talk to your insurance agent, see what your options are for coverage. As soon as a claim happens, it's best to file a claim because carriers have resources that can support you through the process. So you're like, what do I do? Well, they probably know what to do and can give you some advice. So always best to get the claim filed as quickly as possible.
Well, thank y'all so much for your expertise as always. So if you own an Airbnb exclusively, you rent yours out sometimes, whatever it may be, hopefully this is helpful for you. And if you know somebody who also does the same thing, send this video to them so they can be protected as they rent out their home and use it as another form of income. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for next month.